it is time for Spectrum Online. We are so glad that you could join us this morning. And this week, there's no pesky bugs flying around. Do you remember last week? They were zooming in. I'm glad there's no bugs. Do you know what, Faith? You are super hardworking. She learns all the actions and has been doing them, and I'm sure she gets a little warm doing all those actions. So good job, Faith. I'm impressed. And you know what? The whole band does a really good job. They're super hardworking as well, coming down all the time and doing music for the kids. So we should say a big thank you because they are super hardworking. Well, I'll let you guys do your job, and you can lead the kids in worship.
Good morning, everyone. Why don't you stand up on your feet? We're going to sing some songs.
Spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy and a little wild. Here we go now, come give it a try. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know and give them a high five. Stomp your feet louder. Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now and give them a high five. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, we're all in this together and we're having fun. We're here to spread the love of God to everyone. Gonna get a little crazy. Here we go now, come give it a try. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know and give them a high five. Stomp your feet louder. Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Oh, 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 oh. Move it to the left now. Move it to the right. Find someone you don't know and give them a high five. Stomp your feet louder. Wave your hands up high. Find somebody else now. Give them a high five. Oh, 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 oh.
Come on, we got another one for you. Put those hands together. Come on, sing this out. You spoke one word. You spoke one word and the dark became light. I believe it, yeah. You spoke my name and my heart came to life. I believe it, yeah. I wanna sing about it. I wanna scream and shout it. I'm gonna sing it right now at the top of my lungs. With all of my heart, I will praise you. God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. Come on, let's sing this out again. Come on, you're all I need every day. You're all I need every day of my life. here by my side. I believe it, yeah. I wanna sing about it, I wanna scream and shout it. I'm gonna sing it at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart. I will praise you, God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart. I will praise you, God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. Oh, come on, I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna scream it, oh, I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna sing it out at the top of my lungs. I'm gonna scream it, oh, I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna sing it out at the top of my lungs. I sing with all of my heart. I will praise you, God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice. Come on. At the top of my lungs, I sing with all of my heart. I will praise you, God, you are everything. You're the reason that I lift my voice. At the top of my lungs, I sing with all of my heart. And God, you are everything. And you're the reason that I lift my voice at the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. Yeah, at the top of my lungs. So good this morning. Come on, we sing it out, we scream it out, we shout it out this morning. Come on, let's hand it over to Pastor Julia.
So, did you sing at the top of your lungs? I hope so, because I'm listening. Well, the last couple of weeks, we have been talking about bugs. Some creepy crawly bugs and some flying bugs, all different kinds of bugs. So the first week, we talked about caterpillars who turned into beautiful butterflies. And then last week, we talked about bees. So I've got some pictures to show you. The first picture is a gorgeous butterfly that Tyler Breckenridge drew and sent to me. I really like this one. This looks like a monarch butterfly. And the next two, do you remember when Mia and Zoe sent us pictures of their caterpillars that were turning into cocoons? Well, guess what? Their cocoons hatched into butterflies, and they sent me some pictures of the butterflies. So have a look at these. There are two of the butterflies that hatched from their cocoons, so those are pretty cool. Well, today I have someone who's going to help me with the lesson. So Levi, come on up here. I got your microphone all set. There we go. And we'll get in close, make sure you're in the picture. Perfect. So Levi, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. What have you been up to? Have you been playing outside or playing video games or what? What have you been doing?
Video games.
Video games? What's your favorite video game?
I don't know.
Not sure? I'm sure you play lots of different video games. You like to be outside too, don't you?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to do outside? Did I hear that you got a new bike?
Yes.
I thought I saw that. So do you like riding your bike?
Yes.
Very cool. Can you say anything else other than yes? You're going to say yes, aren't you? All right, I got a couple questions for you. Well, I know you like frogs, because when we go camping, you're often catching frogs. And do you know the place where we often go camping? Do you remember what it's called?
Tetchamakuji.
Right, very good. But we can't go this year, can we? Because they're being renovated. But I know you like to catch frogs there. What about bugs? Do you like bugs?
Kinda.
Kinda? Do you have a favorite kind of bug that you like?
Ladybugs.
Oh, do you like ladybugs? Well, how come you like ladybugs? What's cool about them? What do you think? Do you like the color?
I like the color.
And they don't bite you either, do they? So that's a good thing about ladybugs. Mm-hmm. Is there any bugs that you don't like?
No.
No, you like all bugs? What about worms? Do you like worms?
I caught some today.
You got some today? Oh my goodness, where were you that you caught worms today? Was it on your driveway or where was it?
A bird had it in his mouth and then I scared it away.
So the bird had the worm in its mouth, you scared the bird, and then you got the worm. So you stole a worm from a bird. Oh my goodness. You're pretty brave, Levi. That bird's gonna come back looking for his dinner. You stole his dinner, didn't you? All right, well, I got something that I want to show you. Look at this piece of wood. Levi, look at that. It's got all kinds of little grooves in it. I'm going to move it all around here so you can see all the different parts to it. What do you think is going on with that piece of wood? Do you have any idea?
Ants?
You are so right. Ants did this. Can you imagine? Do you think ladybugs could do that?
No.
No, I don't think ladybugs could do that either. Ants did that. They are so hardworking. Look how deep those holes go in there. The ants actually dug down in the wood. Do you think that's hard wood? Here, you knock on it, see if it's hard. That's hot. Hard, isn't it? If I went doing, 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 it would be very hard. And the ants drilled all the way down into the wood. Isn't that amazing? Ants are pretty cool. Do you have any idea what the name is of the ant that drills into the wood? It's a special kind of an ant. Do you know what it is?
Regular ants?
No, it's not a regular ant. That's a good guess, though. What's it called? What's a man called or a lady called who makes things out of wood? Do you know? In the Bible, it talks about Jesus was something because when he was younger, he made things out of wood, and his father did it. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it's called?
No.
A man? It's called a carpenter. That's a carpenter. You heard about a carpenter before? Carpenters build houses. They make things out of wood. And so
The other day I got bit by an ant.
you did? Do you know what? Was it a little tiny ant or was it a big ant?
A big ant.
I didn't think big ants bit. Maybe they do. I thought only the little ants would bite you. Well, these ants that are carpenter ants, they're those big, big black ones. And the reason they're called carpenter ants is because they dig through the wood. They work with wood, just like people who work with wood are called carpenters. That's why. How long do you think did it take an ant to do that on that piece of wood? Do you think they did it like in a day or a year or what?
One day.
Do you think one day? I wonder. That would be a lot in one day, wouldn't it? I think it might have taken them a little bit longer than a day, but I'm not really sure. All I know is they're very hard working. And somebody, you know what? A friend of mine found this in their house. When they took apart part of their house, this was inside. So the ants were in the wall or in the step doing that. Isn't that something? They might eat your whole house and you wouldn't even know. Well, Levi, did you know that the Bible talks about ants?
No.
Have you ever read a Bible story that had ants in it?
No.
Never? What about, let's see, what Bible stories do you know? What Bible story can you think of?
David and Goliath?
David and Goliath. Good one. Do you think there were any ants in David and Goliath?
No.
Well, maybe they were on the ground. Maybe they were watching when David threw the stones at Goliath. Do you think? They might have been. What other Bible story do you know? So we know David and Goliath. So there might have been ants in it, but...
Moses?
Moses. Which one about Moses? Like when he got the 10 Commandments or the burning bush?
The 10 Commandments.
So I wonder if there were ants there with the 10 Commandments. Do you think? Yeah, there might have been ants around for the 10 Commandments. What about Noah's Ark? Do you think there were ants on the ark?
No.
Well, you know what? If you think about it, there might have had to been, or they might not have lasted through the flood. Well, maybe they can swim. Can ants swim? No. So you know what? I bet there had to be ants on the ark, or we wouldn't have ants, would we? Well, there's a part in the Bible that talks about ants, and it's not a Bible story. It's in Proverbs, and it's found in Proverbs chapter 6. Do you have a Bible like this?
No.
You have a kid's Bible though, don't you? Yeah, this is my adventure Bible. And this one talks in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 through 8 about an ant. And I'm going to read it. It says, "You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader and no ruler." I guess that's true. The ant doesn't really have a leader or a ruler, does it? But the ant stores up its food in the summer, and it gathers its food in the harvest time. So if an ant gathers its food, that means it just collects all its food, and the harvest time is usually in the fall. Why do you think ants would gather up food in the fall?
Because they're hungry.
Because they're hungry, that's true. But they also store it up. They put it like in their cupboards. Lots and lots of it. What comes after fall? What season? Do you know?
Summer?
No, summer comes right before fall. What comes after fall when it gets cold?
Winter.
Winter. And you know what? The ant probably can't get food in the winter. So it has to store it up in its cupboards so that it has food in the winter. That's probably why. Do you think ants are hardworking?
Maybe.
Have you ever seen ants playing? Just playing around?
In my house.
Were they playing? Were they playing with your toys? No. What were they playing with?
Just running on the ground.
So if they were running, maybe they were working. How do we know if they were working or they were playing? Guess we don't know, do we? It's hard to know. Well, I think most of the time ants are working because I don't think I've ever really seen ants who were playing before. Every time I see them, they're running one way and then they're running the other way. And did you ever notice if an ant dies, the other ants go and get it and take it back? They don't leave one of their ants dead. It's kind of interesting. So I think they're hard workers. I've never seen like an ant suntanning. I don't think ants just lie in the sun and get a tan, do they? No, they don't. They keep running around and doing all kinds of stuff. They're always going somewhere.
I saw some today.
You did? Big ones or little ones?
Little ones.
Little ones. Little ones are kind of pesky and they bite, but it's the big ones that do the damage, isn't it? So we got to be careful with those big ones. Well, there's a story in the Bible about somebody who worked really, really hard, just like an ant. And this man built a wall. Do you know anybody in the Bible who built a wall? Somebody in the Old Testament. This is a really hard question. I don't think you would know. You might have to be in grade 6 or maybe grade 10 to know this. So it's a man in the Bible, and it starts with knee. It's knee something, and he built a wall. His name starts with knee. Any guesses? No, you know who it is? It's Nehemiah. Do you ever remember hearing about him? No? Well, there's a story in the Bible all about Nehemiah and how he gathered all the people together to build a wall. And he was really hardworking, just like the ant. So we're going to show a video now that the kids can watch all about Nehemiah. Thanks so much for helping me today.
This is the story of Nehemiah and the Jerusalem wall.
Oh yeah, Nehemiah. I love that story.
Nehemiah was a man who was born as a servant to a king and eventually became a cupbearer.
One day, a friend of Nehemiah's came to visit him. He told Nehemiah of how the wall in Jerusalem that kept all the people safe had been torn down and destroyed.
Nehemiah was very sad when he heard that. He wept and prayed for days for the people of Jerusalem.
Nehemiah knew that the wall needed to be rebuilt, but he knew he couldn't leave the palace without the king's permission.
God had given Nehemiah much favor with the king. When Nehemiah told the king of what had happened to the wall, the king not only allowed him safe passage through his kingdom, but also funded the trip and the rebuilding of the wall.
I wonder if Nehemiah was afraid to leave the land he had known for so long.
I'm sure he was afraid, but he chose to trust God and step out on faith instead of giving in to his fear. When Nehemiah arrived in Jerusalem, he gathered a team of people to begin rebuilding the wall. While they built the wall, Nehemiah and his men were made fun of. They were trying to keep them from rebuilding the wall.
I wouldn't want people making fun of me.
But that didn't stop Nehemiah. He cared more about what God thought of him than what those around him did.
Wow, that's so cool. I want to be like Nehemiah.
The people worked from sunup to sundown, continuing until the wall was complete. Nehemiah became a leader for the Israelite people, and God took care of him and the people for Nehemiah's choice to obey him.
God takes care of those who follow his commands.
And when you take the initiative to do good, then your light shines even brighter.
See a need, fill a need, just like Nehemiah.
So it was Nehemiah. That's who the video was about. And he was a really, really hard worker. He organized all the people together and they rebuilt the wall in Jerusalem. He was a really hard worker. Can you think of something in your body that works all the time? It works 24 hours a day. What works 24 hours a day? Your lungs, that's right, because you're breathing in and out 24 hours a day. But that's not what I was thinking of. What else? What did you say? Your brain? Yep, your brain works 24 hours a day. You're right, because your brain's always giving signals to your body, but that's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of your heart, because your heart pumps blood 24 hours a day. Your heart is really hard working. If you take 2 fingers and you put it just on the side of your wrist, see if you can feel it going pump, 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 pump. That's your blood pressure. And your pulse. Yeah, that's your heart working. And you don't have to tell it to work, and your heart never complains. Can you imagine? It just keeps working and working and working. And if it ever stopped working, I think it would be time to go to the hospital, because we need our heart to work all the time. But I'm kind of impressed with my heart because, like I said, it works all the time and it never complains. Do you know who else doesn't complain? The ants. These ants work super hard. Now, I don't speak ant, so maybe they do complain. I don't know. But I don't think they complain. I think they're very, very hardworking. So I think the reason that the Bible talks about ants in Proverbs is because he wants us to be like ants. Not to be pesty like ants and not to get on people's nerves, but to work hard. Let's look at that verse again in Proverbs. It said, you people who don't want to work, think about the ant. So if you're laying there thinking, I don't want to work, it's too hot, I'm too tired. The Bible says, think about the ant when you feel like that. Consider what it does and be wise. So the Bible's telling us, be like the ant and work. And it says the ant doesn't have any commander, no leader or ruler, but it works hard and it stores all its food up in the summer for the fall, so it has it for the winter. I think that's a good lesson, that we need to work hard and keep working. Well, I think we need to pray this week that we'll all be super good workers and we won't complain when Mom and Dad ask us to do something. I know when it's hot and we're tired and we'd much rather play video games, sometimes it's hard to get up and do what we're told, but I think we should be like the ant and be obedient. So we're going to pray, and then I want to tell you a little bit more about Kids Camp. Father, I just pray, Lord, that you would help us to be like the ant and help us to be hard workers and help us not to be lazy and not to complain. Lord, I just pray that your word says that we're to consider the ant and be wise. So I pray for all the boys and girls that they be wise and that they would be super hard workers so that we can glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen. So don't forget, you guys, we got to register for Kids Camp because it's coming real soon. In a week's time, it'll almost be time for Kids Camp. It'll only be 1 day away. So what you need to do is you need to go on the Rock Church website, rockchurch.ca, and register. And when you register, that means I'll be saving you a special Cactus Craze camp kit. And that box, you're going to pick it up on the Saturday before. When you register, we'll tell you what time. And you can come down, and it's got all your craft supplies in it. It even has a real cactus that you're going to get to look after. So make sure you register. And then starting on July the 6th in the morning, every morning at 9:30, you make sure you watch Cactus Craze because we're going to have a ton of fun. All right, you guys, you stick around because we're going to see the big church service in just a few minutes. See you later.